Greetings out there to all of our fearfully and wonderfully made educators. I am Dr. Jerry Potts with Katalysator Educational Solutions, and today's video is part 2, choice boards, and how to use choice boards, how to create choice boards for long projects or for students to do on a weekly basis to show mastery.
So this is the coming of a new nation, a choice board-esque type of activity, because students don't really have a whole lot of choices in which activities they do, but they do have a choice in their products. For example, this is a social studies unit where they are creating their own nation. It is for virtual and face-to-face students. You're creating your very own nation. Follow the directions in each box to make sure you have all the things you need to have a flourishing country. So they are working in groups of 4 or 5 across the grade level, not just students in their own class or on their own team, but in all classes, and their presentations will be in Google Slides, Prezi, videos. I think some of them decided to do pictures or posters. So each day, the students have something that they work on in a breakout room or in a pod. So as you see, they due day 1 tells them what exactly they have to do. Due day 2, 3, 4, 5, it just goes on to what it is that the students have to focus on. So for example, day 1, they are creating the name of their country and a flag for their country. And it's very specific to how many points they will get for these days. Make a map of your country, day 2. And then they have to follow those questions. What other countries are you near? What bodies of water are you near? Pop culture. What is culturally popular in your nation? So that's day 3. And that's also 5 points. And they have to include literature, fashion. So day 4, day 5, day 6, and day 7. So they do the fun stuff on that first week. And then we get into the heavy stuff, like what's the important rights and responsibilities of your citizens? What are core values? What is going to be your constitution? And what about your economy? Because those are the foundation of all countries, and they have to make sure that they have all these elements present. And the more heavy the content is, the more points that are assigned. So creating their constitution is 20 points. Explaining their economy is 20 points. So day 8, they have explaining the role of their government, and they're going to do that through a comic strip. Day 9 is them working together to give one another constructive feedback. Day 10, they're making adjustments. Day 10, they're also reflecting on their experience within this box. How well did it go? What did they learn? Things of that nature. And then at the bottom, we have the standards that are covered for this assignment. So that's pretty upfront. And I think as a team, the teachers went back and put in what days the groups were going to sign up for small group instruction, either in their with the different social studies teachers on that team. Here's another example of a choice board that's broken down into social studies and ELA standards and their choices. They can script out or create a video documentary and create an annotated illustration. So a comic strip, a political cartoon, timeline, anything that depicts the main point of the abolitionist and suffragist movement. And their essential question is, were all men created equal? So in creating these, the teachers decide what is it that we want to focus on. And then I help them work backwards and to create these items. So there's different abolitionists as well as suffragists for the reading. There's text and video analysis. There's Nearpod. And then the students choose what product choice am I working on, and my week goal is to. So what exactly are they wanting to get through? Do they want to make sure they're going through the readings? Do they want to start scripting out page 1? of their product choice. If they're doing number 2, do they want some of their pictures already scripted out or finding the collages they're going to use? So they have their goals, and then they have a timeline. So this is what the students create for week 1, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. These are my goals. Did I meet my goal? Yes or no? Reflection, what did I do or not do to meet my goal? What may I need to readjust? And this is a 2-week project. So week 1, I believe the teachers wanted them just to work through the material, and week 2 was great getting the product done. And of course, there's the student signature as well as the teacher signature. Here's another that looks the same, but it's a different grade level. And they have more product choices because they wanted their students to have more of an option when it came to showing mastery. So they script out or create a video, create an annotated illustration, have an analytical essay. They're creating a journal with at least 10 diary entries detailing the experience of living through this time, or they have to write different letters. So to legislators to get one of the historical figures during this time period, a national holiday, and or a school named after them. Your letter must show how it was destined to move west and the influence of the historical figure. So everything's tied back to their standards. And we always start with the standard so we can see what exactly is it that the students need to focus on. So H31 is I can explain westward expansion. I can explain the Star Spangled Banner. I can describe the impact that the Trail of Tears had on American Indians. I can describe how the Oregon Trail, California Gold Rush were acquired. And then all of the informational and literary standards that go with it. So what's in the choice board has to reflect those standards. So of course we have the America the Beautiful as well as the Star Spangled Banner, the Tale of Tears bubble map, Nearpod on Western expansion, the Gold Rush, Star Spangled Banner lyrics. What are the most interesting lines? What does the song mean to different people? Oregon Trail, American symbols, thinking map, quiz is, and these are all the same boxes, but because quizzes was so big, it covered the sheet. As that example, we have a 4th grade choice board for math. It shows that they're working on NBT 6 as well as A4, division arrays, fact families, day 1, day 2, day 3. They take their quizzes, they have math reflections, and on this piece, they have a pre-test and post-test analysis. So they can they just put X's or checks on the questions they got correct. I know when I'm ready to move on, when I have met all the success criteria from these 2 standards, I can solve the problem of the day without correction. I can write and solve my own problems, supervise my student-led group during our 4OA.4 and 4NBT.6 independent work. And I can justify my mastery and then show mastery in my post-test. So once they have checked off doing 1, 2, 3, and 4, they go to their teacher and say, you know what, I'm ready for my post-test. Then they take the post-test and they have to show mastery. So if there are 10 questions, they have to at least get an 80 to show mastery before they can move on to the next set of standards. And this is a choice board for, I think, ELA. Directions start with green. Complete green, then go to yellow. Complete green and one other box before going to yellow. Go to yellow, almost done. Complete yellow and one other box before going to another box. Send in your Google form. So the Google form is the way that the teacher tracks their learning. And then they complete another box before going to red. So they start and they analyze multiple accounts tutorial. So we click on this one. Can't remember if there are like 4 or 5 different activities with CPOMs. And it just walks them through a full tutorial of author's purpose. So when this pops up, you can see it goes from 1 all the way through 20. Character practice, Moby Max, is something that those students are doing in that class. Prefix activity, because we are focusing on 30, 30, 30. Identifying themes. There's a quiz is to make sure that they understand the information up here. Main idea is a review. Flip grid. And then they have common lit and the 11 assignment. So they also have a different type of reflection at the bottom, and it says day of the week, name of the activity you are working on, fist to 5, number for the day. So the fist to 5 gives the teacher an indication of how well they understood that information. 5, I completely understand it and I can teach it. 4, I mostly understand and can show it. 3, I understand pretty well. 2, I need more practice and examples. 1, I need help. 0, I don't understand at all. So anytime the teacher sees 0, 1, or 2, then that's the indication that that student may need small group instruction to get more help for those assignments. And then their final reflection, how do I feel about this process from start to finish on a scale to 1 to 10, and why do you feel this way? So this is the latest one for January, and you can see that there's different ways to complete and different checkpoints for this one for ELA. For the math one, students are given the opportunity to not only do new work, but review work, as well as track their own learning and let their teacher know, okay, I've done these 2 or 3 things. I've met all my success criteria through my performance task. I'm ready for my test, and move on. For the westward expansion, students have the same opportunity to learn the material plus create products to show mastery. And they are giving 5 choices to show mastery. A lot of it is writing, but some also include some creativeness with creating a video documentary. And believe it or not, a lot of the students will do more than one. They'll write an essay and make a video, or they will do their own activity and collaborate with another student. Same thing with the abolitionists versus the suffragists, and making sure they're tracking their learning. And of course, the coming of a new nation is a day-by-day activity. I believe this one was set out to be 10 days, but ended up being more like 15. And that's okay. Due dates can always fluctuate.
You had 4 different choices of choice boards. So 1 that gives a day-by-day playbook of how students can work together to create a new nation. 2 for social studies, social studies and ELA, where students are working through choices and charting their progress for an end product, as well as an ELA choice board that also gives students an opportunity to reflect. Remember that when you are using choice boards or elongated projects, hyperdocs, whatever it is, that you have an end game in mind. And if you need help in creating these documents, or you want templates for these type of documents, check out our Katalysator Educational Solutions Teachers Pay Teachers page, or our website to book a consultation.